What's up? OPERATIONiDROID here, and I have a freshly restored iPhone 4S running iOS 7.1.1 non-jailbroken, all ready to go, because in this video I'm going to be answering the common question, which is, can you get GBA for iOS and NDS for iOS, as well as how do you get games if the application does not have a plus sign? So let's begin. Alright, so let's begin by getting GBA for iOS. To do that, we're going to open Safari, and in the URL we're going to type in GBA4iOS Now, if you already have this, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the next section of this video. But anyways, once you put that URL in, you'll be taken to a page that looks like so. And we're going to go ahead and click on download GBA for iOS 2.0. Then we're going to go ahead and scroll down to find the download button of the current version of GBA for iOS, as it may be different if you're watching this in the future. But before we click on that, we're going to go into settings, and we're going to go into general and then date and time. However, we're not going to change our date yet. Your date should be at set automatically. From here, we're going to go back into Safari. And now that we're at Safari, we're going to go ahead and click on download GBA for iOS, whatever the current version is, and go ahead and click install, and it will give you a white icon. And before it starts to download, we have to immediately, as quickly as possible, move our date back to at least 1 day. And as you can see, GBA for iOS will download. And before you set your date back to the normal, make sure you click on GBA for iOS, go ahead and click on continue to open it one time. And now that it's open, we can now go back into our settings and set our date to the normal time. You'll have to do this date change every time your iDevice turns off. But anyways, once we get this done right here, we're going to head back into Safari to get NDS for iOS. Now, before we get NDS for iOS, at the moment that I am creating this video, NDS for iOS only runs full speed on A7 devices, which is like the iPhone 5S and the iPad 4. Just look up on Google what A7 devices are, and it's basically the latest Apple devices. But anyways, to get NDS for iOS, we're going to search in the URL nds4ios.angelxwin.net. and now you're going to get to a screen just like this, and all you're gonna have to do is click on download, and it will take you to the download page, and we're gonna look for the download for non-jailbroken devices. So we're gonna pass by the one that says jailbroken, and now we're gonna get here to install NDS for iOS via OTA. And now you can choose to either get the stable or testing. I went ahead and clicked on testing. I'm gonna click install, but before it begins, I'm gonna quickly head over to settings, change my date back to a couple of days before so that the installation can begin. Now, NDS for iOS is a little bigger of an emulator, so it may take some more time to install. As you can see, that's happening with mine right now. However, please be patient and wait for it to load. Eventually, it'll stop saying loading and it'll say installing, and it will begin to download. As I mentioned, remember, NDS for iOS is still in beta and is not yet complete, so that's why it only runs full speed on A7 devices. However, hopefully in the future it will run full speed across all devices. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and open it so you guys can see. And now from here, I'm going to open my settings, and now I can change my date back to set automatically. Now, with that done, I'm going to show you how to get ROMs outside of the actual application. So as you can see, NDS for iOS does not have an in-app downloader at the moment, and GBA for iOS does have one. However, it just takes you to Google. So if any of the case that GBA for iOS, or as we saw with NDS for iOS, loses their in-app downloading capabilities, I'm going to be showing you how to get games with Safari. So all you have to do is go into Safari, in the URL type coolrom.com, and it'll take you to this amazing website full of various ROMs of your favorite games. And if you already know what game you want to get, all you have to do is search it in the search function. So for example, I want to get Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure for GBA, so I'm just going to go ahead and search in Dragon Ball Advanced, and as you can see, it pulled up the exact game that I was looking for. And all you have to do is click on it, then you'll take you to the actual page for that ROM, and it'll show you a lot of information about it, like its file size, its name, and then all you have to do is click download now. It's that simple, and you'll know that your download has begun because at the top near your Wi-Fi or service provider there'll be a weird swirly spinning thing, and that's how you know your download has started. And when it's finished, you'll get a screen like this, and all you have to do is click on open in and open in the proper emulator. GBA, GBC, and Game Boy games are for GBA for iOS, and NDS games are for NDS for iOS. So now that we have our game here, now let's learn how to get a game for NDS for iOS. However, it's quite the same process. So let's head back into Safari and into coolrom.com, and now I'm going to show you how to search through coolrom.com by just going through ROM files. So when you click on ROM files, it'll show you all the emulators that they have ROMs for. I'm going to go ahead and click on NDS for iOS, Nintendo DS as an example. However, you can also search GBA, GBC, or GB games, and it'll take you to the NDS ROMs page. And as you can see, you can search by a lot of ways. By top 25 downloads, which is the one I'm going to be using, I'm going to go ahead and pick up Pokemon Diamond. Now I'll let you guys know that Pokemon Black does not work on NDS for iOS because you are not allowed to get EXP. However, if you would like to learn that, I do have a video on that. But anyways, we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the Game Boy Advance game, and we're going to click on download now. Let me mention again that NDS games are much bigger than GBA games, so they will take longer. And as always, you'll know that your download has begun because next to your service provider or Wi-Fi signal, there'll be a swirly weird little thing that you can see at the top left of my screen next to my Wi-Fi. And all these downloads honestly depend on your internet provider. However fast your Wi-Fi or your cellular data is how fast these games will download. So be patient with them and just let it be, and eventually your screen will turn white with the name of the ROM you just downloaded, and you'll be able to open it in the emulator that you'll like. As you can see here, my Nintendo DS ROM is just about finished, and when it does, all I have to do is open in NDS for iOS. And as you can see, we have GBA for iOS, a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy emulator, along with NDS for iOS and Nintendo DS emulator. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and open this game in my NDS for iOS for all of you to see that it is indeed there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on open in, or if I want to be faster, I can just click on open in NDS for iOS on the right. However, as you're going to see here, it does take some time to open in an NDS for iOS because again, it is a bigger file because these games are bigger. But as you can see, I've got myself Pokemon Diamond right there, and a common misconception has been solved that you can only have one of these emulators. However, with the new updates coming to both of them, GBA for iOS 2.0 and NDS for iOS being constantly updated, you can have both of them on the same device. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you. If it was, then please leave a like, that is always appreciated. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I make tons of videos on these two emulators that I just showed you how to get, GBA for iOS and NDS for iOS. So if you enjoyed this video and would like to be notified whenever I make a video on these topics, then please subscribe. Besides that, I already have tons of video made on these emulators, so if you'd like to check out my NDS for iOS playlist and learn how to reduce lag on that, then click on the left or follow the link in the description. As well as if you'd like to pick up an awesome GBC game for GBA for iOS that includes Pokemon X and Y Pokemon, then click on the left and check out my GBA for iOS playlist that you can also find in the description. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the operation.